Austin, Texas, to share his own example of his practice with you.
Thank you all for giving me a moment today to tell a story about that number. That number is a story of belonging. That number is a story of building. And that number is also a story of becoming. About 7 years ago, we started working in a women's prison in Lockhart, Texas. It's a suburb of Austin. It's a 1,000-bed women's unit. When we started there, and I appreciate the statistic that we just heard, when we started there, the governor, the warden of that unit, told me that exactly 100% of the women in that prison were there because of some violence or some abuse. So I'm going to tell you the story of the other end of that spectrum. When we first came into the prison, we knew that the most important thing that we could do was to create a safe space. A space where the women felt a sense of belonging and connection to one another. A space where they were no longer a number, but a human being. A space where they were seen and heard and honored for the value that they bring. The second thing is we knew that we must find a way to build confidence and skill and literacy, cultural and community literacy. We knew that we needed to find a way to build together, to co-create together a path forward for them when they walked out that door. And so we worked with them to build individualized reentry plans that connected them back home, wherever home was, to the social supports, the services that they needed to work, to safe housing. Many of those that we serve in the prison, they need to find another place to go home to because they got in trouble in that same network at home, and they didn't need to go back there. And so we were about the business of building skill and confidence. Those of us in the adult ed world would say self-efficacy and agency. We were about helping them to become authors of their own future, to become anchors for their family. Most of our students have children. That number is also a story of becoming. As the women walked out the door, as the women have walked out the door after completing training programs with us, after connecting with each other, after becoming a team and supporting each other through their learning, this is the story of them becoming independent, building on that confidence that they developed in the classroom with us, and launching back into our community and contributing not only in their own families' lives, but building stronger communities wherever that home was. That number is our return to prison rate across hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women that have been in our program. In the state of Texas, the recidivism rate is around 20%. That's a bit less. In the United States, the recidivism rate is somewhere between 40 and 60%. And it's really the same globally. Even in some of the most progressive countries in the world, 20% is a great number. Our return to prison rate is 0.56%, less than 1%. Why? Because we're willing to show up in that prison we're willing to give space, create safe spaces for women that enables them to regain their humanity, build their self-confidence, and go back out into the world and become who they were meant to be. It has been a great work in the prison, and we're now having the opportunity to expand our work. But I just wanted to share the story of what can happen when you show up. You build empathetically, you listen deeply, you support in the way that we all do with learners on all sorts of journeys. This represents not just a model for prison, but for what we also do out in the community. Thank you.
Thank you, John.